How we doing, everyone? Here we are in the 11th mission in the NOD campaign here at Tiberian Dawn. You're going to start off up here real quick. This is one of the most demanding missions very early on in a game, requiring a lot of micromanaging, a lot of attention to detail, and each step counts. Each second counts for you as well. You'll notice this video is a little bit shorter than normal, about 12 minutes long, but that's with reason. I'm trying to keep some of these videos a little bit shorter from here on out. I'm realizing, get a 25-minute Command and Conquer video. You're not really going to stick around for the whole thing. You're going to get in, get what you want, and then check out. So I'm going to keep them a little bit shorter now, but as you can tell right here, what I'm doing is getting the attention of that mammoth tank on another unit other than my rocket soldiers. So you draw the attention away from your rocket soldiers, allow them to get some hits in, take out that mammoth tank, which is going to be your main concern right off the bat. You got 3 engineers you want to leave up there. Better keep an eye on them, and then maybe issue a minigunner north. By doing that, you're going to draw the A-10 airstrikes in case they come in to take those minigunners out, leaving your engineers safe. So just be aware of that. You probably don't have to worry about an A-10 airstrike for a while, but be conscious of them flying in. So next thing, you saw there was a gunboat that went by that river. Do not worry about the gunboat on this side of the river. There are 2 sides, we'll get into that in a second, but that gunboat will not target you on the north side of the river. Stay, you can go as far close to the coast as you want, and you won't be fired at. South of the river is a different story, so watch out for that. Just send your minigunners in the lead here. Don't worry about having them protected. It's just kind of a bum rush right here. Just think of going as fast as you can towards this base without really, no holds barred. Just go in. Don't worry about getting attacked or anything like that. Start putting down a power plant initially. You will not have to capture any of those buildings that popped up for you, and I would also avoid capturing the technical center or the tech center or whatever it is, the thing with the domes on the top. I think it triggers a more aggressive assault from GDI that you don't really want to deal with yet. You want to be able to get an obelisk up. That harvester is very key. Do not attack it. If you do attack it at some point, you're going to get 7 or 8 armored units coming at you. So keep that in the back of your mind as well. All right. Okay. So harvester is going to come through. Send your units away from the ore refinery, Tiberium refinery. Excuse me. Not playing red alert. And immediately when he gets in there, put that engineer in there. That's going to save you upwards of $1,400 right off the bat, because you're going to need to produce the Tiberium refinery, and they're not going to send their harvester into that building yet. So I'm just going to save real quick. You can see, been playing this one a lot of random save titles. Don't make fun of me. So send your Tiberium harvester out of the base. Make sure you focalize it on that eastern patch, not north, because that's just going to expose them a little bit more. Start making a couple sandbags. I'm not doing any sandbag barrier trick in this one, just because you don't need to. The only reason I'm extending them is to put the obelisk down. So you put the obelisk down, that's going to allow you to take the gunboat out, which is later going to allow your units on the south side of the map to, which I'll get to in a bit. You want to avoid using them right now. It just complicates things in microing right now. You want to be focused on simplification. So, but it'll allow you to use your NOD obelisk to assault that GDI gunboat that's going across the river. So that Humvee's zooming in and out of the base. He's going to go for that northernmost unit as usual. You should be aware of that where that unit is. If you have any harvesters still looming, make sure. Whoops, skipping ahead there. Like I was saying, make sure to know if you have an engineer up north. You want to use them. I'll touch on a strategy in a second that I don't really like to employ. So down here is this group of units. The only real purpose for having this group of units down here, there really isn't any. You're going to need to take out every unit on the map of GDIs So at some point you're going to have to utilize some of these units, but you're not accomplishing anything. There's like a mammoth tank, a medium tank, and a number of infantry on this side that is not connected to the mainland. That there's no buildings you're capturing or anything of that sort. There is a town with a church in it. You take that church out, you'll get a $2,000 crate. So that's really all that there is to go with it. So keep pumping out power plants. The reason I'm focusing on that is obviously the obelisk of NOD just sucks the energy out of your the power out of your base. It's even more demanding than a prism tower, than a Tesla coil, obelisk of light you have in Tiberian Sun. It's very similar to that. So you can start moving some more units west. The only unit left at this point should be a mammoth tank. That initial shot will fire that anti-infantry missile at you. From there you should be able to take that mammoth tank out, no problem. And then move your units west, take out that church, and get that money crate. That'll give you a nice jolt initially that is really going to enable you to have a springboard economically. Sorry if I'm distracted every once in a while. I'm checking over this Federer match on Wimbledon. So you're going to put another obelisk of NOD down. That's really all you should need. They don't send any more assaults other than maybe a medium tank or an APC or a Humvee. So that's solely what you're going to get with them. Man, those screams are just morbid.
Unit lost.
Very, I don't know what I want to call them. They're warbles or something. Take out that Humvee and make sure I punched a hole in that wall right there because that pocket allows you to put a unit there, and that'll be your northernmost unit in most cases. That will draw the A-10 airstrikes, because if you're not paying attention, they will go for that con yard. That is your northernmost structure. Watch out for that. As you can see right there, sometimes they might have a couple napalm bombs left over and will still deposit some on you, so watch out for that. Alright, keep sending your harvester out. Once you get 2 obelisks up, you can focus on building another refinery, and you may need a repair facility as well. What I'm doing right now, initially off the bat, you can capture NOD's con yard very easily. You can punch a hole in the western side of their base right from the start with your rocket launchers. Send in your engineer, capture that, but you will get overrun immediately. They will start assaulting whatever units you have on the map with like 7 or 8 armored units. They will overrun you. Your engineers won't be able to get out, even if you have them in a separate area. You'll lose the commando right away. Not that you need the commando to complete the mission, but it doesn't work. Essentially, maybe you guys can pull that off, but it doesn't work. So at this point, it doesn't work for me. At this point, those units south of the river really have no purpose for you. Honestly, there's really nothing that they do. So you can kind of just forget about them. That's why the game kind of usually gives you hints as to what to do, but here they kind of tempt you away from actually pursuing the enemy in a fashion that's productive for you. So be conscious of that. Don't really invest time into getting those units where they need to go immediately south of the map. So I've touched upon that one strategy, rushing the base up there, but knowing that is very good because at this point you can focus in on getting a little bit of an engineer rush. All you'll need is maybe a rocket launcher or a recon bike if you have an airstrip, and you can punch a hole in their western wall, and their con yard is the closest unit to that wall, which is really nice for you. You can capture it. If you're lucky enough, you can put an obelisk down and get in their way and start destroying their structures. It's kind of hard just because they have advanced guard tower there that is in range and will take you out. There's also one orca that they have, and that orca can kind of cause some havoc for you too if you don't have any anti-air units. Alright, so keep building power, get that repair facility. I guarantee you at some point you're probably going to need to do a little repairing on your harvester. just because they do get exposed a little bit,
Lost.
and GDI is kind of
Construction complete.
pesky in this mission. They do send units down frequently, especially if you don't cut off their economic supply soon.
Building.
They like to send like groups of 10 infantry and then an APC, Humvee, medium tank, and then like one mammoth tank, I think, additionally. They don't really make many more. Alright, so keep working down here. Things are looking good.
Building.
Hand of Nod can...
Construction complete.
I was trying to find a place for this sucker. But those napalm strikes will really do you in if you're not paying attention and they start going for your structures. I've played this one before and I was doing well, and then all of a sudden I forgot to take care of that, and there goes my con yard, up in flames, quite literally. So,
Ready. Building.
just be cognizant of that.
Unit ready.
At this
Building.
point, you're really safe and well off. You can start making sandbag barriers, but honestly, that ends up being a kind of substantial investment that I don't really want to make, and I don't think you need to make. All you need is these two obelisks, and they will deal with any units that come in, even if there is quite a large force. There's armored units that come simultaneously with these faster units, so you obviously want to target them, but that's kind of rare because the AI in this game is not as smart. They don't take directives as logically, so units really go ahead of the pack, unlike in Age of Empires where the slowest units drag down. So I'll see you guys next time in part 2 of this mission.